how do you explain to the world what it is that you do for a living?
I love that question because that is what I do for a living. I explain to the world. That's literally my actual whole job. I find the right words. That's how I earn a living. I find the right words for clients. I find the right words on stage. I find the right words for teams to use in their writing and marketing and conversations and stuff. So in writing, training, and speaking, my job is to find the right words.
I love that. This is going to be a fun interview. Short and sweet. My next question is, what inspired you to join the Suits and Sneakers community? And what would you hope to gain from it when you signed up?
Well, you did. You inspired me to join the community. I pretty much do whatever you tell me, more or less. So if there's something that you are involved in that you think is worthwhile, I'll almost always be an early adopter. I mean, there's a bias. There's a credibility bias. So, you said you thought it would be valuable for me, and that was all I needed. That was a yes. You had me at hello. I had no expectations about benefit or what I hope to gain from it, or, and I still don't. I don't have any concrete expectations. I think that's why it's such a lovely community, because you derive value in the small moments, in the random things that people say, and the unusual comments that people share, and the links that they provide, and just having a sense of community as a small business owner. So no, I have no expectations in terms of lead generation or opportunities per se. I find that kind of networking very gross, very dickhead networking, as you like to explain it. I'm just keen to see what happens. It's very much like a crypto investment I'm holding.
Well, to be fair to you, you were like basically the earliest adopter of this whole thing. So
well, I think I was number 4, hey? So that's pretty early.
What is unusual about the way that Tiffany Markman operates, either personally and or professionally?
I like to think, and I'm hoping you can either say whether I'm wrong or right, that I'm relentlessly honest. So whether I'm talking to a client about a content strategy or a brand voice or a training intervention or a stage talk, I can't bullshit. I honestly have to tell the truth. Sometimes that's what people want to hear, and that's what I'm getting paid to deliver. Sometimes not. And I think that is quite unusual. I think that I would rather tell the truth and not get the work than bullshit a little bit and get the work. So if I feel like I'm not a fit for someone, I'll say, listen, I'm not the right person for this, talk to X, or I don't really like doing this kind of thing, talk to Y, or you're going about this the wrong way. I can take your money, but you're going to be sad afterwards, So that relentless honesty, I think, is quite unusual. And it gives me a lot of freedom because it means that I trust myself first. If I get a funny vibe from a piece of work or a client, it's going to fuck out. Like that, just, it's taken me 30 years and I know that it's going to fuck out. If I feel like it might fuck out, it'll fuck out. So that's, I think, unusual. Personally, I think much the same. I call a spade a fucking shovel, as you know. But I think I like to think I'm quite fun to be around. I like to think being with me is fun.
You are relentlessly honest, but you are never an asshole. And I think your superpower is being able to be very direct without ever coming across as if you intended to hurt people's feelings.
I think most people get me the way that I intend. I think most people understand me pretty well. But I also think that above all things, it's important to be kind, right? There's no point being a dick for the sake of being a dick. That's not serving anyone. But if I'm going to be relentlessly honest with you in a way that is potentially not what you want to hear, then the least I can do is be constructive about it and kind about it and sandwich it nicely. So this is good and this is good, but in the middle, you might want to revisit X and Y. And kindness, I think, is the thing.
So what floats your boat when you're not working? What are your hobbies?
When am I not working? What is this thing you speak of, this boat floating? My family, obviously, and being at home. I realized after the pandemic that I fucking love being at home. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to be at home where the Wi-Fi is fast, the coffee is strong. I know what to expect. There's a doorbell and a big gate. I love being at home. I just want to be at home. I don't want to go anywhere. There's nothing I need to do. I feel funny telling you these things because you know these things about me already, but let's introduce me to people who don't know me. I love art, looking at it, buying it, and making it. Well, what I make, you can't really call art. It's, I don't know, it's probably craft at best. But I do love buying local art. I'm a very passionate collector of local art. I go to all the art exhibitions, all the shows, all the fairs, all the everything. I love books. I read about probably a book a week or a book every 2 weeks. only fiction. I don't read any nonfiction. So I don't read any personal development, self-help, business books. I read the kind of shit you can buy at an airport. That's my favorite kind of book. None of these intelligent Oprah's book club things. I like John Sanford, Lee Child, Karen Slaughter, trashy airport literature. I love true crime podcasts. I think I can't be a 43-year-old white woman without loving true crime podcasts. I think that's like, it's like Crocs. It's permission to be 43. And I love the Washington Post crossword. I do it every day, especially on the weekends, because it's very hard on a Saturday and Sunday. They give you the fucking hard one. And I do the Washington Post crossword on a Saturday and Sunday. And I've now, just to lean into my epic nerdiness, I've now started doing Sudokus on the Washington Post website as well. Yeah, special. I know, special.
Could you share a fun fact about yourself that people wouldn't immediately know when meeting you?
I am a bat rehabilitator. So not the one you use to hit a ball, not a baseball bat or a cricket bat. I'm an African microbat rescuer and rehabilitator. I specialize in long-term sanctuary, which means I keep them for a while and do first aid and flight train them and feed them and move them from liquids onto solids and then get them ready to be released into the world. And I do what's called ambulancing. So if there's a bat in an office building in Sandton that's bothering the people because it's not meant to be in the office building, then I will go and do what's called a welfare check, or where I'll hydrate it and check on it and whatever. And then ideally release it where I found it or take it to the relevant expert for emergency assistance. So yeah, I'm the batshit crazy lady.
So what is a book or podcast or YouTube clip that you would recommend to others right now that you've maybe watched recently or not so recently?
I'm super conscious of the stupidity of recommending YouTube clips to you, because I know that if it exists on YouTube, you've probably already watched it. However, there is a clip that I came across earlier this year that I cannot stop watching. I think it's just the funniest thing ever. You may have seen it. The audience probably hasn't. It's by Peng Joon, who's the AI marketing guy. And it's a music video called Unstable Relationships. It's a music video that he made, that he's the lead, he's the star of the music video. And it was written by quite a good musical writer. And it's about the unstable relationship that he has with his advertising platform. So he talks about how ads fail while costs go up and relevancy score goes down. And it's really just about how LinkedIn and Google and YouTube and all the others keep changing the algorithm. And then these human beings just jump through hoops to keep up. And it's just too funny for words. It's really, really worth looking for on YouTube, the Unstable Relationships, Peng Joon's official music video. So that's one of my very favorite things at the moment. It just fucking makes me laugh so hard. And then because the world is scary and you can't really trust the news anymore, the only thing that I watch every single week is John Oliver's Last Week Tonight. If John Oliver covers it, then I need to know about it. And unfortunately, I've also raised my 13-year-old on a steady diet of John Oliver. So she can tell you why the Da Vinci Code is terrible, and she can go on a rant about Tucker Carlson. And, I may have made a strategic parenting mistake there, but John Oliver's Last Week Tonight is pretty much standard fare in my house. And also Taskmaster UK, which is just the most amazing television show if you like the sort of game show environment, but you want contestants who are actually clever and funny. How's that?
I think this poor AI note taker, it'll be very interesting to see how it pulls this one together, because this is great.
The AI note takers also battle with my accent because I have those flat Durban vowels. So very often I
sound. You're going to have to work quite hard to capture the essence of your tone and humor.
I know. Like if it was a New Zealand AI, it would be okay. But a generic AI just can't. It's the Durban flat.
Okay.
You've missed me, hey? You don't normally laugh.
Oh, I have missed you so much. I can't wait for other people to see this. So the final question simply is, what is the message that you would like to leave with the other members?
So here's the thing, members. I'm going to look at the camera. I don't know if you can see that I'm looking at the camera. You don't need two spaces after a full stop anymore. It is not 1995. No, that's not the real thing. I really wanted to say that, but that's not the real thing. The real thing is that words matter. And as change gets more exponential and the world gets more and more and more tech reliant, and augmented intelligence gets better and better, and we get slower and more tired, the words matter. And the way to make your communication and your content and your copy and your conversations resonate is to keep them relentlessly human. And that means being flawed and authentic and honest and upfront. And it's really important that in order for us to sound and appear more human in an increasingly less human world, that we work harder at being human. And because I'm obsessed with words and because words are my thing, that's where I think we should start. It's cool to write as you speak. There's no point trying to sound fancy. Don't try and sound cleverer than you are. Just, sound like yourself, write like yourself, brand like yourself. That really human, intricate, nuanced stuff will start to stand out more and more. And I think that's important.
That's such a value add to the membership, both in your skill level and the value you create, but I think just the personality and character that you add to all of it is a beautiful thing. So thank you for being part of it. And I can't wait to share this with everybody else. They definitely want to watch this rather than read this one.
I think, because people know me from writing, I'm always a little bit more interesting on video. And also it's nice that I'm not standing, because then inevitably someone will say, I thought you'd be taller. So I hate meeting people face to face. But yeah, members, if you are watching this and if you think I have value to add, I will be contributing to the Suits and Sneakers platform on School more often. Probably about once a month I'll be posting an article, how to some kind of a free guideline on how to do something better. Yeah, so look out for those. They hopefully will teach you how to do something you didn't know how to do, or confirm some of the instincts that you have that you aren't sure about yet.